Hey, my name is James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about the latest house price data. We've got the latest data from the ONS, the Office of National Statistics. This is the data from May, and this is the official house price data. You see, on this channel, we like to talk about all the house price sources. We talk about Halifax House Price Index. We talk about the nationwide house price index. We also talk about Rightmove's asking prices because that indicates where the market sentiment is right now. And this is the official data. And it's good to get all of these data sources so you can make your own opinion on where you think the housing market is going. Now, if you're new around here, we're going to give you all the data today on what regions are doing well. We're going to talk about England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales. And in the UK, we're going to talk about the strongest and the weakest regions as well. So that's a reason to make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you get all the latest updates on this kind of stuff. By subscribing and hitting that bell notification, you'll get all the latest house price news, interest rate news, and property investing news, plus much, much more. And let's get people aware on what's going on in the market. So how do you do that? Well, your part is simple. Smash like, tickle like, do something to that like button. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and that has helped the channel grow to where it is today. So thanks to everyone that does that. So what's going on? Well, the ONS data comes out every month. It has a massive lag. So this is the May data. So with house prices from nationwide, we actually get that data on the 1st of each month. So, and that's 1 month behind. This is a few months behind. Obviously, they've got to reconcile some transactions. It's not all of the data and it's not all of the house prices sold in that month. It's a sample of that, but it does give us an indication on where things are going. And last time we had this data, it wasn't good. In fact, in April, they said house prices just in a month were down 2.7%, which was a huge drop. Now, that was based off the fact that by April, the stamp duty increase had happened, right? And so a lot of these transactions, if they didn't get done in March, people would have been looking for discounts in order to keep those deals done. So that was a big drop. And obviously, if that happened too many months in a row, you would have a house price crash quite quickly. So what are they saying the May data looks like? Well, it's much better. In fact, there's been a rebound in May and house prices are up 1.1%, which is definitely brought back some of that big loss that we had in the April data. Now, that does correlate with what we've been talking about on the channel. So we've talked recently about mortgage approvals were high in April and May, and a lot of new buyers came into the market. You see, the first quarter was very busy, and that was not normal. That was because of the stamp duty increase that was happening. So a lot of people got their deals done in January, February and March. In fact, 500,000 transactions were done. Just to put that into perspective, we normally sell about 1 million, 1.1 million, 1.2 million properties per year. So we nearly got half of the transactions done in the first quarter. Now the market slowed down, but we did hear from lenders that mortgage applications, mortgage approvals were up, meaning more buyers were in the market. So inevitably, you were going to get more sales done. And it looks like prices did creep up a little bit, which is good for those selling the property. On an annual basis, what we're looking at here, well, the annual level is not bad. Now, it does obviously depend on region, which I'm going to break down for you. But annually, house prices are up 3.9% now. And that's a bit of a jump because in April, house prices were up 3.6% on a rolling 12-month basis. So that's pretty good. That's just above inflation. So house prices have creeped up a little bit if you take into account inflation for that year. The average house price in the UK that's been sold at the moment is £269,000. And that will include cash deals, mortgage deals, all deals. Whereas when we talk about nationwide and we talk about obviously Halifax data, their average house price data is higher. I think it's around 279,000, and that's because they're doing mortgage deals only and their own mortgage deals only. Whereas this will include cash deals, which are generally a little bit cheaper. So that brings down the average, but that is the real average that we're looking at here. So what's going on a region by region basis? Let's have a look at that. So let's have a look at England. The average house price at the moment is 290k, and the annual increase was 3.4% over in England. Northern Ireland, let's have a look here. So Northern Ireland was very strong. Average house price is 185k, and the increase in Northern Ireland is crazy. Everyone's reporting the same sort of stuff. 9.5% up on an annual basis in Northern Ireland. Let's have a look at Wales. So Wales has been pretty strong as well. The average house price in Wales is 210k, and the average increase is above inflation at 5.1%. And Scotland has also done pretty well. £192,000 is the average up in Scotland, and well above inflation, 6.4% increase in Scotland. So England has really brought down the averages, but there's more transactions there obviously as well. So the bulk of the transactions are going to be in England, but it hasn't performed, and that's brought down the average for everybody. What about in the UK, in England? Where are the stronger areas? They haven't given us all of these areas, but they have given us the strongest performing in the UK and, in England, and the worst performing. So the Northeast is by far the strongest at the moment, and that's gone up 6.3% up in a year, which is really strong. The Southwest is the worst performing, with 1.9% increase. Now that stacks up with all the latest news that we've been sharing, where we talk about the Southwest is really struggling because lots of people are trying to sell second homes at the moment. And so house prices are struggling in the Southwest because local councils, what they did was they increased council tax for second homes to double the cost. So that pushed a lot of people out of that market, or at least they're trying to leave at the moment. So I wouldn't be surprised if longer term you see house prices in the Southwest down. I think that's where that is trending at the moment, while everyone's trying to leave. Eventually it will stabilise, but right now I wouldn't be surprised by the end of the year if the Southwest is the worst performing still. Up north, house prices are affordable. I did a video in the last few days where I talked about affordability of property. The Northeast and the Northwest, both very affordable still. In fact, more affordable than 20 years ago. So do go and check that video out. How about London? Obviously, where the huge properties are. Well, London's been fairly strong, 2.2%. Has been really hard in London, in central London especially. House prices are down, but Greater London has done somewhat better. So it's interesting to see that the market has rebounded somewhat in May, which is obviously much better than the April figures. What do you think is going to happen ultimately this year? I think you'll be a couple of percent, 2 or 3% up on an annual basis when we get to the end of 2025. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that in the comments below. Remember, if it drops to 2% increase on an annual basis and inflation is expected to stay above 3%, in real terms, house prices are down 1%. So let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Do smash like, do subscribe, do check out all the other content as well on the channel, including this video right here.